Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to my match on WWE 2K25. In this one, we have got Bam Bigelow representing WWF. For WCW, we have Kanyon, and for ECW, we have Candido. I mean, this could go either way. All three of these guys are very, very solid indeed. Let's check the old ranking system. Firstly, for Bam Bigelow, he is currently on -3 after 10 matches, so he's not done terrifically well so far. But he is an absolute beast. And this is a really good call. I like this one, you know. I really do like this one. Yeah, -3 after 10 matches. He's -1 for one match this year so far. Someone we don't... Well, we need to use more of. Of course, we have got the ECW shows coming up soon. So, again, we'll get some more use out of him then. I do have him penciled in for a match against Spike Dudley at November to Remember. Which is a real classic match, if you remember, from ECW. Where Bam picked up Spike and threw him over the top rope into the crowd. And the crowd caught him and just crowd surfed him around. If you've never seen it, it's hilarious. Go and check it out. Next up then for WCW, we have got Kanyon, a man who's only ever been used once for us. And that was back a few weeks back when we did the Fresh Meat Gauntlet match. That's when he made his debut, which disappointed me because I like Kanyon. And I really want to see more of him, and this is our opportunity to do so. I think we have used his alter ego, I think. Have we? Mortis? Yes, we have used Mortis once back in 2022, but because they're two completely separated out characters, we don't count that. But yeah, Kanyon's someone, though, I do very much like. He's just one of those guys that I just forget about a lot. So I might stick him in. We've got Halloween Havoc coming up soon, obviously, since it's going to be Halloween soon. So I might stick him in there. I would like to see him being used. Why the hell not? Who better than Kanyon? And if you don't know, I think Brian Cage was actually trained by Chris Kanyon, I want to say. Because I know Brian Cage has spoke a lot about Kanyon in the past. They were very good friends, and Brian Cage obviously takes... Yeah, Brian Cage was trained by Norman Smiley, Tom Pritchard, and Chris Kanyon. Yeah, I think Brian Cage obviously uses Who Better Than Cage. That's obviously his homage to one of his mentors in Chris Kanyon. And yeah, they were very, very good friends. And obviously, when Kanyon did pass away, it was a big, big hit to Brian Cage. I believe there is actually an episode of Dark Side of the Ring about his passing away, which is quite, well, I was going to say it's quite depressing, but in fairness, all of the Dark Side of the Rings episodes have been depressing, aren't they, really? Kanyon is former WWF Tag Team Champion alongside DDP, former WCW Tag Team Champion as well, alongside Diamond Dallas Page, as well as alongside Bam Bigelow. Okay, I don't know how they've done that. But also former United States Champion as well. I think these three guys were part of a stable. What did they call Triple Threat, the stable as well, wasn't it? Am I right in that? I might be wrong. Who knows? Was it the Alliance? No, it wasn't the Alliance. That was for the Invasion, wasn't it? Either way. Let's check Chris Candido in the ranking system as well before we get too far in. And I forget, Chris Candido is currently on +4 after 5 matches. Wow. He had 4 of those matches back in 2021, and he had 1 match in 2022, and we haven't seen him since. So again, we'll have to make sure we do get some use out of him as part of our ECW shows. Yeah, I'm sure Chris Candido was in a stable. I want to say with Bam Bigelow and Shane Douglas. So, of course, Chris Candido debuted back in 1986. Bloody hell. You don't realise how long these guys are around, do you, really? He was in ECW from... He was in WWF from 95 to 96. ECW from 96 to 99. Then into WCW in 2000. In ECW, he... Yeah, okay. So he revived the Triple Threat stable alongside Shane Douglas. The group had the gimmick of no gimmicks needed, which is quite ironic. It was originally Shane Douglas, Chris Candido, and Bam Bigelow, but eventually Lance Storm replaced Bam Bigelow when Bam left. There we go. Chris Candido, then former WWF Tag Team Championship once as part of the Body Donners. Then 1996 that was. He was a one-time WCW Cruiserweight champion. And he was a 3-time ECW Tag Team champion alongside the likes of Johnny Hotboy, Chris Michaels, and Lance Storm. Who's Chris Michaels? I don't know who that is, to be honest with you. There you go. That's your brief history on Chris Candido. God, I'm just looking at my screen, my computer screen at the moment. There's just Wikipedia pages everywhere. And again, yeah, this could really go either way, to be honest. I'm still shocked that Chris Candido debuted in 1986. That's really surprised me. I know, obviously, he was part of the Body Donners in WWF, alongside Zip, who was... What was his name? I just looked at it there a second ago. The Body Donners was... Zip was Tom Pritchard. Skip was Candido. And, of course, they went on to win Tag Team Gold at one point as well. There you go. Yeah, debuted in 1986. Wow. So Chris Candido and his good friend Jonathan Rechner began working for independent professional wrestling companies in New Jersey. Jonathan Rechner is better known as Balls Mahoney. There's a roll up there by Candido, but Canyon's across to break it up. In 1992. So they worked the independent scene for about 6 years before getting the move to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, signed by Jim Cornette. There you go. Kanyon now sending Bam Bam into the corner. And look at Candido now with the big chops across Kanyon. And I think Candido's going to struggle a little bit. He's definitely the smaller man in this match. Canyon's quite a big lad, isn't he? Based on, obviously, Bam Bam just being an absolute brute like he is. Candido is billed at 5'8", 102 kilograms. So, doesn't quite count for our Cruiserweight division, but you never know. He's an option, should we wish it. I think we have often said in the past that we will generally... look at the Cruiserweight division based on style rather than specifically weight. Because it's not unfeasible for someone to drop a couple of stone here and there, is it? It's doable. Got Bam Bam now with the vertical suplex taken down Kanyon. Candido sending Bam Bam off the ropes. Now spins him around into the neck breaker. Big move. Candido now bringing Bam Bam back up, and there's a stiff strike into the face. Candido now up on top, and Canyon's there to try and pull him down, but Candido fought back, and Candido went for the splash. I think Kanyon was trying to walk away. I think Candido got a little bit of it, not as much as he was hoping for. Bam Bam now with a rake in the eyes of Kanyon. And there's a Russian leg sweep by Candido as well. Yeah, so Bam Bam was one of the guys who did obviously work all three companies. I remember him more for his time in ECW because, like I said, me and PJ Toby used to run around the local town centre looking for... We had a little wrestling video shop opener that sold VHSs, and the guys sometimes had ECW tapes that he was bringing in from the US. And whenever he had one and we were able to get a hold of it, it was crazy. And that's where I remember seeing Bam Bam from the most. That's what I said about before with the Bam Bam versus Spike Dudley match. When Bam Bam just picked him up, gorilla pressed him over the top into the crowd. Candido fighting back with a strike in the face of Bam Bam. There's the dropkick taking Bam Bam down as well. And the pin by Chris Candido. Like I said, I think he's the underdog for this based solely on size. But he does get a 2 count there on Bam Bam. It was an opportunity. Snap suplex there by Chris Candido, who now heads up to the top rope. Bam Bam's there to throw Candido down onto Chris Kanyon. Smart maneuver, then dropping a headbutt into Candido. But that's actually busted Candido open. Yeah, Candido, as you can see, busted open, as is Bam Bam as well. The only man not currently busted open is Kanyon. Oh, no, it was not. Okay, no, it is, yeah. I can see the blood just above the eye of Candido. I'm assuming it is busted open, or unless Bam Bam's just busted himself open, which is possible. I just transferred the blood. Cheeky roll-up here by Kanyon on Chris Candido. Of course, Bam Bam Hang on a minute. I said Bam Bam's representing ECW. He's not, is he? Bam Bam's representing WWF in this one. It's Chris Candido for ECW. And it's Chris Kanyon representing WCW. Remember, we are keeping track of all the victories per company. At the moment, it's WCW that lead with 15 victories. ECW with 14 victories. And WWF are lacking behind with 10. WWF need as many wins as possible because we only have, including this match, we only have 8 matches remaining. And WWF need to win more or less every single one to have any chance of winning this competition. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it is going to be ECW versus WWE, ECW versus WCW at this point. I mean, if WWF were to win the next 2 matches and bring it up to 12, 14, 15, there might be a chance going into the last 5 or 6, but it just seems unlikely. Candido now has Kanyon, going to drag him across. Kanyon fighting back with the elbows. Stiff elbows into the gut. Candido now going to head up to the top. And Chris Candido, what is he planning here? It's a super powerbomb on Chris Kanyon. Wow, what a big move that is. Bam Bam breaks it up. If Bam Bam can wipe out Candido here, he might have the chance to go on and pin Kanyon. But it's Candido using his agility to spring off and catch Bam Bam as well. Candido up on top, looking for the leg drop. Bam Bam saw it coming, moved out of the way. Kanyon now taking Candido up, drops him off, face first, beautiful maneuver, stacks him up. This could be big here for WCW if they can put it off. It's only a 1, wow. I thought that was going to be it, you know. Look at Bam Bam now taking up, Kanyon on the shoulders, looking for the driver, he hit it. There's the uppercut by Chris Candido. He's going to head up to the top, I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. He's allowed Bam Bam to go in for the pin, and Bam Bam's going to... Oh! Candido got there just in time, I feel. I'm not sure if Kanyon would have kicked out anyway, but Candido got there just at... Candido. Oh my god, Chris Candido versus Bandido is going to be an absolute mess for me. That's a match that someone's going to suggest now, isn't it? Chris Candido versus Bandido. Headbutt there by Chris Candido. I'll tell you what. I know Kanyon is back with it now. He is going to get across and break this one up. Remember, 2 more matches left after this one for you. There's the Death Valley driver by Candido on Kanyon. After this one, we've got Al Snow versus Crowbar versus Sabu before the final match of the day. Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit. Sidewalk slam by Bam Bam. Bam Bam now bringing Kanyon back up. Now he's going to drag him actually towards the centre of the ring. Bam Bam with the boot in the spine of Chris Kanyon. Springs off with the splash. Candido is there though with the sledgehammer right into the anus. Wow, sledgehammer to the anus. Jumps on top of Kanyon. Bam Bam is flat out. Canyon's flat out. Candido has nicked it. He's done it. ECW getting a point. Massive point for them, which now puts them back joint top with 15. I think WWF are out of this now, you know. Well, not mathematically. There's 7 matches remaining and WWF are 5 points behind. They need to win every single one of the last 7 matches to stand any chance. But Chris Candido, what a win. He was already massively at the top of the rankings. Chris Candido now then gets himself 3 points for winning a triple threat match, which puts him up to a +7 overall, which is massive. He's going to go from 110th position all the way up to 66th alongside Shane Douglas. Okay. That's interesting. So that's something we need to concentrate on when we do our ECW show, is maybe looking at giving Candido some opportunities a little bit higher up the ranking system, because maybe Candido versus Shane Douglas for a chance to fight for a championship. Let's do the other 2 then. So Kanyon has had 2 matches now and lost them both. So that's going to put him down to a -2 after 2. And Bam Bam Bigelow has had a loss here, which means he moves down to a -4 after 11. So crazy for that as well. But there we go, Chris Candido, massive win for ECW. After 40 matches now, ECW and WCW both with 15 wins each, WWF with 10, with only 7 matches remaining of the pay-per-view. I think one more win, well, 2 more wins for ECW or WCW means that WWF are out. WWF need to win every single match moving forward, starting next with Al Snow up against Crowbar and Sabu, and then before the end of the day, Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. Right, I love you, leave you, good night, God bless, I'll see you all soon for the next match, bye-bye.